Hello,
Hey,
and welcome to Coffee with the Wilsons. I'm Marquita,
and I'm Richard.
and we're together, Coffee with the Wilsons.
Coffee with the Wilsons, baby.
So we hope y'all had a great and awesome Saturday and an awesome week. We're gonna come in tonight and talk a little bit about vision and why vision is important, why you need to write your vision down, and as it pertains to finances, goals, relationship, whatever that vision is. We think it has purpose, and we like to talk about that tonight.
That's what we're going to talk about, dreams and visions. And we kind of wrote down a few little notes while we were talking earlier just to keep us on point and everything. And I mean, I believe we had some really, really good points. Dreams and visions is very important in regards to moving our lives forward. At least that's what we have found in our experience. Because what happens is sometimes you write down goals and you can to a certain degree, life happens, right?
Yeah.
And you get off track.
Yeah.
But what we've in our experience have found out that if you have something written down, you can have it as a reference point. They tell me sometimes that when you're on a plane, right, that they go ahead and the pilot, they put in their calculations in regards to what city they're getting ready to go to. But they have to constantly monitor it because if you get off just a 1 degree, if they don't pay attention, instead of ending in Louisiana, they could be somewhere in Montana. So that's the same way it is with our lives. We just have to use a point of reference to try to keep us on point in regards to which direction we're trying to take. And you want to add something to it, baby?
Well, I think that what it has been for us is when things get tough or get hard or get a little complicated, those things that we've written down is like a motivator and a reminder of why we have to keep moving forward. Because if we have not arrived to these things or haven't accomplished the things that we have put down and we don't actually see ourselves at this moment walking out this vision, we haven't arrived. And so we can't stop and we can't give up and we can't throw in the towel. We have to, as my grandma would say, you better saddle up.
You better saddle up.
Get in motion. And so this is a practice that we've had because the coffee times have been a real big help with that. When we come to that table and we come with a plan and a vision and we start bouncing things off of each other, it has been a huge, huge help. And even in my personal life, when I was believing God for a husband, and I have this list, and I have these things that I had on this list, and he had to have this and this and this and this. And I one day began to listen to a nail tech. She was talking to some other ladies and saying, my guy, he got to have this kind of money, and he got to bring this to the table and that to the table. And I'm sitting there listening, and I'm like, you know what? That stuff isn't really important. It's not important. So when you're writing down your vision, let me interject this before I go forward. You need to be real with yourself, and really, really look into what you're trying to accomplish. Because writing down he needs to have this kind of income, but forgetting to say, I hope he knows how to talk to me like a person.
Come on, that's very good, very good.
You're going to be empty. And you're going to have a lot of issues. Writing down, I don't want him to have any kids. But forgetting to say, I need to know God, how this guy treats his mother and father. How he relates to his siblings. Because that's going to tell you a lot about how he's going to relate to you and your family.
Absolutely.
Can he lead? Can he guide you? Even with the ladies, even with the females. She fine, and she need to have curves, and she need to have breasts, and she need to have this. But is she empty-headed? Do she know how to navigate in a household? Can she make a meal without burning it all up? Do she know how to regulate her finances? Do she know how to talk to a man like a man? who needs affirmation. Can she do that? Can she be affirming? Or does she think she needs to be his mother? So you need to be very specific when we're talking about visions and where we see ourselves and what we want out of life. You know what I'm saying?
You know, there's one part that was really, that had me really hyped today, and it was when you was talking about it, because I tried to write it down. You had a lot of good nuggets. But this is, I really love this here. You said vision requires a certain amount of risk and vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely true. Now, you know what we know in life, that there's absolutely no way that you can eliminate all risk. It's just not possible. So the best you can do is just put certain things in place in regards to whatever you're doing, be it taking a financial risk, getting married, even accepting a certain job. Mm-hmm. There's risks in everything that you do. So that you can't get rid of that. And there's something else that, let's see, what else did you say in regards to this? Progress. Progress is what strengthens your vision.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I was getting back to what I was saying, how you have to make adjustments.
Yeah.
Because the main thing is you got to have progress, because if you don't, you're going to become discouraged.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. And it's easy to become discouraged when you're not seeing what you need to see. But when you're writing out your vision, it's okay to write out small goal lines to reach, meaning I need to be here in 3 months. And then you need to tell yourself, write out a plan on how you plan to get there, so that you make sure that you have some guidelines, some rules kind of shaping you and shifting you in that direction. And sometime in the midst of what you think you've written down and that you need to do, God will come in and speak to you and redirect you. And you got to go back and make revisions to that vision. Because either you grow, you change, a life experience happens, and it changes your thought process. Or it gives you another direction that you need to aim towards, maybe first, before getting to these other things. Me personally had to work on some attitude issues and things like that before I got remarried, before I started talking about building a life with someone again. And so there were some things I had to do first before I could believe God for the things that was on this list. I needed to address some self things. And we have to be honest with ourselves about that. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for us to be honest about where we're missing the mark. I might be falling short and making those tough adjustments. Sometimes they're minor, and you have to want to. You have to want to make them, because
that's good.
If you think you're okay, and everybody around you, my pastor Mike used to say, if 10 people around you tell you drunk, you drunk.
Probably drunk.
You're probably drunk. You need to get somebody your keys.
Probably greasy.
And we like to get ourselves in situations sometimes where we're intoxicated before we start to try to make adjustments. And so it's good to have good counsel around as well. It's good that, there's safety, the Bible says, in a multitude of counsel. And so you need to make sure that whomever that is, also, you see fruit in their life. Don't have nobody talking to you and their life jacked up and messed up, but they got all the answers for your life. They probably can't help you get to your vision.
Yeah,
even if they mean well.
Another part that we touched on, which I think is very important, I just went ahead and jotted this down, but even before you and I, became married, this was always a philosophy, and I believe the Lord gave it to me. And it's simple. That what we strive to be is very practical. So we ain't gonna give y'all no stuff, no spooky stuff. We ain't all that old spooky junk. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you can have lofty goals, lofty visions and dreams. And you have to incorporate imagination into it. It's almost like you got to be there inside before you actually get there. So the philosophy I've lived by, for years, probably 20 years, is you got to see it before you see it, or you won't ever see it. It's got to be real. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't see it with your eyes, it's got to be tangible. And I believe that's very important in regards to visions and dreams and things of that nature.
And he's real good about keeping that stuff before his eye gate. He's very guarded about what he watch, what he ingests through visual, because if it's going outside of the line of his vision, he's gonna pull back. He's gonna probably reject being a part of that, or or being a partaker in whatever that situation or even a TV show, whatever it is that does not feed where he's trying to go.
Absolutely.
What he's trying to accomplish and what he's trying to gain. And when you're somebody like us, you know, I have my hands in about 12 pots at one time.
Probably more than that.
You know, I'm always working on a project. I'm always working on something because I have a place that I'm trying to get to. And it's a personal goal of mine and a personal place that I need to accomplish because of legacy. When I met him and we used to just talk at the coffee shop, I used to tell him legacy is important to me. What I leave to my children's children is important to me. And so I work, you know, in a consistent basis trying to get there, and a job is not going to do it for me. I got to have a vision. I have to have a vision.
Yeah.
And I have to have somebody walking with me that also is not afraid of the vision.
We ain't scared, baby. We ain't scared.
We
We ain't never scared.
We ain't scared.
Like
We
bold
really
person,
kind of
never
gangster
scared, baby.
when it comes to
Yeah.
what we trying to get to. Head first, in strong, and we're guarded with where we get counsel, and we don't let a whole lot of outside interference come in with their opinions and their thoughts, because people will discourage you.
Stop you,
They'll
baby.
tell you that you can't do it because they can't see it, and
Wow.
that's okay. That's okay. Tell them to keep watching. Maybe I might inspire you in a few days. Just keep watching. And so it's important. I want to make sure we say, number one, that you're writing. Write something down. Start somewhere. Write something down. If you don't have one currently, and this is what, the end of February,
Yeah.
by March 1st, put in your purpose to get something on paper for
Get
the
you a
rest of
calendar,
this year.
bro. Get a calendar.
Get you something for the rest of this year. Even if you have to do it for the next 30 days.
Because one
Get
thing we
something
didn't,
down.
I'm sorry, baby, but one thing we didn't discuss, and we probably, there's just so much in it, so much meat in it, is time.
Yeah.
See, time is a resource, is a finite resource. You only get, I think they said 16, I may be wrong now, don't quote me now, but 1,680 seconds or something, or a day or something. But once, what is the day's date?
This is the 20... I
Third,
don't know.
right?
I've lost track.
February the 23rd, 2019. I'm saying that to say this. It'll never come again. Once this clock strikes midnight, you'll never ever see this day again. So with visions and dreams, your time is very important. It's almost like you got to be really guarded with your time. Because, man, it's just easy for, even today, see, you know how fast things are moving?
Yeah.
Man, you'll be done sit down and my God, 3 hours will be done going by like that, and you'll be like, what the heck, what just happened? So that time is very important. You want to add something to that?
Yeah. And I believe wholeheartedly that you need to speak over that vision. You need to talk to it. When you get up in the morning, you need to say, God, I thank you that I see myself walking this thing out.
Yeah.
I see myself in this place. I see myself, because what's going to happen is going to build momentum. It's going to build something on the inside of you that you really begin to believe, I'm going to see myself in this place. I was going to tell my husband, I got to hurry up. Oprah's 65 and she got to come and do my interview.
She going to do it too, baby.
She's got to do my interview. So, I'm running out of time. I got to get busy. I have to get busy because I need Oprah Winfrey to interview me when I make it to that place.
That's right.
I tell them, I have coworkers, they still laugh because they tell me want to get me a jet.
A jet.
Called the Marquee. I already know what it's going to say on the side. It's the Marquee.
That's right.
I told them, y'all be laughing when I call you and tell you to meet me down here at the airport. We're going to shop in Chicago today.
Because you only get one life.
On my jet. And so, yeah, they're big and they're outrageous. And I'm an only child to my mom who I've been animated like all my life and believe outside the box like that, literally all my life. But what I'm saying is, why not?
Why not?
Why not put a vision down and believe you can see that thing manifested in your life? Why not think big? If I'm just gonna think, can I make it out here to Avenues Mall? Well, I don't need God for that. I already know how to do that. I know how to get in my car, crank it up, back it out, drive, stop at the stoplight, stop at the red light, turn right, turn left, get on the highway, get off, and get to the Avenues Mall. I don't need any help with that. But when I start talking about that jet,
you need God for that one, baby.
when I started talking about Oprah coming out her retirement to see me, because she need to talk to me, but how I got this thing done, me, God, and this guy over here,
We're going to do it, baby.
you need a
No
vision
doubt.
for that.
No doubt.
And you need some kind of stupid faith. I often tell we be walking on water.
We've been doing
a
that
whole
since,
lot.
since what, 2015?
Yep, the glass floor. And we want to encourage you. We want to encourage you.
Absolutely.
Step out there. Believe, why not?
What's the worst that can happen? That we used to ask.
Worst
What's
can happen
the
is
worst
you
that
right
can
here,
happen?
right now, like we doing right here. Well, we also can handle that. We're doing it
Yeah.
every day.
Life should be an adventure.
Yes.
It gets if all we do is get up every day and everything is the same, man. It's like what are you even here for?
Right. That's boring.
Very boring.
And I hope I'm encouraging you. I hope we're saying something to get you hyped on your vision tonight. To get you really thinking about what is it you want to do. Because majority of us, our job can't get us there.
No.
That big thing, that thing down in your heart, that thing that runs around in your head, that may or may not be attached to your gifts and talents. A lot of times, your 9 to 5 can't get you there. Some cases it do. There's exceptions.
Absolutely.
We're not gonna say right out, and I ain't told nobody to go quit their job.
Don't
You
do
know
that.
what? She's gonna run off in and leave, and I'm gonna walk up out of here.
You gonna eat ramen noodles like we would see.
They're gonna come get your car.
Oh, geez.
Don't do it. But we want to see people do well. We want to see people live out their dreams and manifestations. And we want to see God do big things in your life. And we want to see people happy, genuinely. And though happiness is not tied to things, I say, let me try and see what happens if I reach these goals.
Absolutely.
If these visions come into play.
And I want to leave y'all with a quote. Because a lot of times we got to get up and go get it and go get success. Success is not something that you go and get, right? Success is, you attract success by the person that you become. So you have to become a success before the things start coming to you. So we want to leave you with that. So
That's good.
You like that?
I like that.
I wish I could have own copyright to that, but I didn't write that. Jim Rohn wrote that.
It's all right. We gonna quote Jim Rohn tonight. Then.
Yep.
It's been real, guys. We hope we said something to inspire you tonight. We hope we jogged your memory. I hope y'all got them visions, your paper, your pencil, your pen, your phone, whatever.
Do it now.
And you're writing. Write that vision. Make it plain tonight. And we'll see y'all next week.
This has been Coffee with the Wilsons. We love y'all. Later.